Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Okay, so we're diving right into a seriously cool concept today, empowering students through female entrepreneurship. It's honestly a deceptively simple idea, but man, it could completely transform how we prepare the next generation. Sometimes, the most game-changing ideas don't need a massive textbook. They just need a fresh perspective. We're talking about bridging that gap between the classroom and the real world by focusing on a very specific, dynamic group of leaders. Let's jump right into how this whole thing actually works. So, how do we absolutely, truly empower students? I want you to think back to your own school days, or maybe think about the students in your life right now. What does it actually take to push beyond the usual traditional learning and reach genuine empowerment? Because we usually think of education as just data transfer, right? Memorizing dates, crunching formulas, vocab quizzes. But true empowerment, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about building resilience, giving them a real sense of agency, and helping them truly believe they can shape their own futures. The big question is, how do we actually make that happen inside a school building? Well, empowering students through female entrepreneurship, it's almost like a manifesto for the next generation. Notice that word, right? It doesn't just say educating or informing students, it deliberately says empowering. And it uses a super targeted mechanism to do that. Female founders. This isn't your generic run-of-the-mill career day. It's a highly focused strategy. It recognizes that there's something incredibly unique and frankly powerful about the journey of women who build their own businesses from scratch. That makes them the absolute perfect vehicle for student development. Let's break down that word empowerment. It gets thrown around a lot, doesn't it? But here, it isn't just some passive buzzword. It's a deliberate outcome. It literally means equipping students with real-world agency, inspiration, and a rock-solid belief in their own capabilities. And the secret ingredient to delivering this isn't found in a syllabus. It comes directly through exposure to dynamic role models. By framing it this way, we totally flip our view of education. Instead of something that just happens to a student, it becomes a toolkit we hand them so they can build their own path. Now, to actually hit that goal, we need a catalyst. Think back to high school chemistry. A catalyst is what sparks and dramatically speeds up a reaction, right? Well, in this educational framework, female entrepreneurs serve that exact same function. They are the accelerant. Why? Because their journeys almost always involve navigating really unique landscapes, smashing through established barriers, and just innovating out of pure necessity. Bringing that lived, real-world experience into a classroom, that showcases real-time problem-solving and profound resilience in a way a textbook never could. So when a female founder steps foot into a school, she completely transforms from a distant corporate figure into a living, breathing blueprint. For a student just sitting there at their desk, suddenly these abstract, theoretical challenges become real-world narratives of actually overcoming obstacles. I mean, it's one thing to read a paragraph about perseverance. It's an entirely different, totally mind-blowing experience to look someone in the eye and hear how they built something from nothing and carved out their own seat at the table. Just compare the traditional student model with an entrepreneur-empowered one. The standard approach is pretty safe. You've got the standard curriculum, conventional historical role models, maybe a tiny bit of exposure to how businesses actually work. But when you shift to an entrepreneur-empowered model, it's a massive upgrade. When students get to genuinely interact with women who have successfully built businesses, they unlock this dynamic agency. Suddenly, that huge, intimidating gap between their homework and the real economy, it completely vanishes. You might be wondering, though, why focus specifically on school students? Why not university grads or, mid-career professionals? Well, it's because these are the absolutely critical formative years. This is the exact window of time when a young person's worldview is being built from the ground up. And, when self-doubt really starts to creep in. If we can intercept students right at this vital developmental stage and plant those seeds of agency before the concrete of conventional thinking sets in, the potential for long-term impact just goes off the charts. And the formula to make this happen is just beautifully straightforward. Step 1 is simple. Introduce the women entrepreneurs. Literally just bring them into the educational space. Step 2 is to really engage the school students. We're talking active dialogue, mentorship, actual interaction, definitely not just a boring passive lecture. And when you authentically execute those first two pieces, step 3, achieving empowerment, isn't just some vague possibility. It becomes the natural, inevitable result. It's like a domino effect.
So, women entrepreneurs for school students. It sounds simple, but it acts as a crystal clear mandate for us. It strips away all that heavy bureaucratic jargon that usually bogs down educational reform and just leaves us with a highly actionable directive. It perfectly pairs a massive real-world resource directly with a massive educational need. Basically, it's a call to action to completely tear down the walls between the local business community and the local school district, and to finally recognize the unbelievable educational value these founders bring to the table.
I really want to leave you with a provocative thought here. Take a look around your own community. Who are the female innovators, the local small business owners, the tech founders, the community builders? And on the flip side of that, where are the students who desperately need to hear their stories? Figuring out how to bridge that gap in your own neighborhood, that is how we turn this whole concept of empowerment into a lived reality. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep questioning the status quo, keep learning. And hey, I challenge you to go out and make these vital connections happen in your own backyard.